All right, we are rolling along with our studies of all of the externalities. Now we're going to start our first look at a positive externality of consumption, which is when the consumption of something causes an external benefit to somebody else. Education is the perfect example. You are consuming this course, you paid for this course, but if you then go and tell someone else about something you learned in this course, they are benefiting positively from your purchase of this product. So consumption of something has an external benefit for someone else. Okay? So we're going to draw this diagram and then we're going to take a look at the ways in which governments can actually help promote this kind of education, or this kind of actual externality. Okay? So we start off, of course, always with the base diagram for market failure, which has the same components, which are price, $, P1, 0, Q1, quantity, unit, year, a label there, MSC, MSB, MSC, and a label, a title for the diagram, okay? So we're gonna make this diagram be for education, okay? So the education here is going to be of you, but there will be benefits. So market for education, the quantity of education. So maybe the number of courses you take a year, going to benefit somebody else. Okay. So how would we draw that? Well, the thing is that your consumption of something, so this is positive externality of consumption, which means that something's going to happen along the line here with the marginal social benefit and the marginal private benefit. Now, we know that we are always going to want to be at point B and a quantity output of Q1, okay? But merit goods like education and healthcare, the assumption is are always underproduced, which means that the marginal private benefit is less than what it would be, oh, I got white going on here, is less than what it would be if the government were able to get it to its socially optimal level of output, okay? So what that looks like is this. There would be a curve that looks like that, and this would be the marginal the marginal private benefit curve, okay? And it would no longer exist right there, okay? Why? Because it is assumed that it would be better for society if there were more consumption of, boom, education, okay? So where's the market actually going to operate? Well, it's going to operate right here, which is at this point right there, okay? So our P1, Q1, that's where the market operates. It operates right here. But where does the government want it to operate? Where it began, right? Which is the socially optimal point of point B. So the way you represent the welfare loss, and this can be confusing, but watch, it makes sense. What you're going to do is say, okay, so if this is Q2, right, that should have been P2. If this is Q2, then we're going to go up to that point there, and this point A, B, C is going to be the welfare gain that could happen if more people were educated. What? That's right. So the welfare, remember, there's a positive externality of consumption. So actually fewer people are consuming education than what governments want. That's why they subsidize education. That's why there's such a thing as public education, right? The government is trying to figure out a way to get the level of output in society from Q2 out to Q1, out to the point B out there, which is where we want to be. That's got to be point C, okay? So this welfare gain potential, this is called welfare gain, is what the government's trying to eliminate. So they're going to figure out a way of reducing this welfare loss. That's what happens in market failure, okay? So let's take a look at a cleaner version of this diagram, which is where we'll start the next video in our understanding of price elasticity, good night, of the positive externality of consumption, okay? So here we are, there's Q1, right? There's P1, that's where we began. But now, what we really want to do is have the government get everything else back out here. And I've put this in there backwards again. I am sorry about that. That needs to be P1, that needs to be P2, this needs to be Q1, and this needs to be Q2, okay? So the socially optimal point is going to be right here, which is exactly what I drew in the last diagram, okay? And therefore, the government wants us to get out here to the Q1 level of output from where we're currently operating, which is right here in Q2, okay? Excellent. Onward to the next video where we'll look at how the government's going to, quote, solve this positive externality of consumption. We're rolling.